What is up, guys? How we doing? So Gen V episode 5 came out today. Sorry I'm uploading so late. Let's dive right into it. We open up with Cypher a month ago, taking care of Godolkin, and Sage shows up, and they apparently have some sort of relationship. Don't really know why, how, but yeah, Cypher is taking care of Godolkin, feeding him and whatnot, and then him and Sage bang, and Sage is looking at Godolkin the entire time. And then we go to present day, right after the fight, and Jordan is freaking out, rightfully so, because Cypher was just using her body like a puppet, and Cypher is intrigued on how Marie feels about the fact that she just successfully used her powers and whatnot. Then tells them that he sent Kate to Elmira, and I know I just went on a 5-minute rant in my last video about how I hate Kate, but I'm so pro Team Emma about how she feels about Kate, but tells them that she, went to Elmira for filming him last episode and is clearly a setup for them to go and try to save her, and they do. They come up with a plan to try to save her. Emma doesn't agree at first, but eventually wins her over, and then she calls Sam for extra muscle, and Sam doesn't want to do it, and he's actually doing a little side B story with meeting his parents and reuniting with them, and apparently his parents this entire time thought that Sam was dead, and then Luke died, and then they saw Sam on the news, and Vought explained to them that there was a misidentification issue with the bodies whenever they said that Sam was dead. And Sam's just kind of learning, the history of, why he's schizophrenic and whatnot. It's actually kind of a sweet little B story. So they go and they try to rescue Kate, and it's a trap from the get-go. Where Marie escaped out of is now sealed off. A flashbang goes off, and now they're prisoners. And they got the collar thing that was in Deadpool 2 that basically takes away their powers and whatnot. And Marie gets shot up with I forget what he said it was called, so she can't use her powers. And Kate is so moved by the fact that they showed up to save her despite everything they did. And Kate takes a staple from her head and picks the collar lock. And while that's happening, we get another very important moment with Sage and Cypher. And Sage mentions Ashley and the state that she's in, and season 4 of The Boys ended with her shooting up V, and very anxious to see what Ashley ended up turning into. And they have a conversation about trying to hurry up the process of getting Marie to her fullest potential, and have a very interesting conversation because Cypher says, when Homelander finds out how powerful she is, he's not gonna like that, and she's like, don't worry about Homelander. So I said in the last review, I actually think that Cypher or Godolkin, we're gonna get there in a second, is actually a good guy. And Sage, I've always thought, I didn't review The Boys on here yet, but I've always thought Sage has had her own agenda. Sage isn't going to align herself with the likes of Firecracker and Homelander and whatnot without her own agenda. Sure, she went on a whole spiel about her grandmother and how her grandmother had cancer, and she was able to come up with a cure for it in like 3 nights or whatever, and everybody laughed at her, so her grandmother died, and like she could have came up with a cure for cancer, but fuck them and fuck them all, and like she wants all humans to die basically. But there is no way, if she's the smartest human being on Earth, or smartest person on Earth, then she knows the worst idea on the planet would be to give Homelander full control of the world and be his right-hand man that he could destroy at any time. Something is up her sleeve, and anyway, then there is another important moment where Cypher, so they're all caught in these, and in cells, and Cypher shows up to tell Marie that, like, I tried to work with you at school, now I'm going to work with you here. He says that you are basically very important. That her reaching her full potential is a need for all of them. And then Jordan says, why don't you just fucking tell her why you need her, why you're so obsessed with her? We all know that you delivered her as a baby. But there's an important exchange where he's trying to be tough, and he talks about like how he picked her to fight because Jordan was weak-minded and whatever, and he was able to basically make her bend and use her very easily. But then Jordan makes a comment about how he's always in pain, that she could feel that he was always in pain. And there's 2 ways you could interpret this. One, Cypher is always in pain because he's being used by Godolkin as a host. Or 2, she's able to sense Godolkin and he's always in pain because of the state he's in. I think this episode definitely gave away that Godolkin is controlling Cypher. Yeah, there was another part, I forgot to mention, where Cypher's at dinner having lunch with, I forgot his name, Andre's dad, and he stabs himself in the hand and has, like, no pain. And, like, if you paid attention to his shakes, his protein shakes are fucking weird, right? Like raw chicken, eggs. If he was a host, that shit wouldn't matter. You probably wouldn't even taste it. So it would make sense as to why he's basically just living off protein shakes and whatnot. Just bare minimum nutrition to keep the host alive. And so I really think Godolkin is controlling Cypher. Cypher is just a vessel, and apparently he can control multiple minds at once if he was able to control Jordan. I'm wondering if he's going to try to control Marie, push her to the extent and her full potential, and then try to use her as a host. Maybe. Maybe not, I don't know, but it definitely seems like there's something about him just makes me think they're definitely not Team Homelander. They may not be Team Humans, like they may not be the overall good guys in this and like want to stop the war and coexist with humans. They might have their own evil agenda, but I do think that part of that agenda has something to do with raising up a weapon against Homelander. There's no way that Marie's going to be the one to take out Homelander, though. There's no way. This is a spin-off show of The Boys. They're not going to give that satisfaction to a spin-off character. My theory is, spoilers if you don't know the comics, in the comics, right, Black Noir ends up being a clone of Homelander, and kills him. Homelander did not have a kid in the comics, and obviously in the show, Black Noir is now an actor, and we're on our third Black Noir, I think. No, our second one, I guess. But considering the person that killed Homelander in the comics doesn't exist in this world, but his son does, that makes me think that the son is going to kill him. Like, I definitely think Homelander is going to die to the son, and then I think Butcher is going to be the final boss. Because in the comics, Butcher does go and kill all the boys. I don't see him doing that, but I do see him being the final boss. They beat Homelander, they beat the heroes. Now they can coexist, but Butcher being taken over by the, whatever, the fucking tumor, the symbiotic tumor, the soup tumor, whatever the hell is going on with him. I think he'll be the final boss of them trying to make sure he doesn't wipe out all soups. So that's how I see season 5 going. If they land season 5 right, it could be one of the best seasons of television of all time. Also, I don't think Soldier Boy would be on Homelander's side either, but we'll see. But yeah, so Cypher, where was I with all that? Yeah, Jordan talks about that Cypher is always in pain. So a couple implications this episode that he's definitely a host. Stabbing himself in the hand, not reacting to pain. Just always drinking the weirdest protein shakes that, like, are nutritional if you look at it, but, like, wouldn't taste good, but it wouldn't matter if it was just a host. And, like, in the beginning, before him and Sage fuck, Sage hits him a few times, so I think Sage knows that it's Godolkin, because she even looks at him while they're having sex. And yeah, so Cypher then takes Marie to see Annabelle, who apparently was delivered by Sage. That was the present, she said, to try to speed up the process of Marie's powers, and then tells her that you and Annabelle can walk free as long as you listen, no bullshit. Marie lunges at him. She gets electrocuted by the collar. He says, sleep on it. And then Kate ends up basically escaping, gets all of them out. They go to Annabelle's. It's clearly all a trap for Marie to push her powers to the limit. They get to Annabelle's cell, and she's fucking dead. She's got her throat slit. Well, I don't know. They felt her pulse. They never said if she was dead or not. Because I'm still... So, they find her with her throat slit, and Marie ends up healing the wound. But it seems to affect the people around her. Everybody started bleeding through their nose, kind of like when Victoria Newman was in the presence of others. But she heals the wound, and Annabelle comes back to life. And I'm curious as to, like, didn't her and Victoria Newman have the same powers? Am I wrong? Like, I rewatched season 1 of Gen V, and that's what I took from her interaction with Newman, is that they have the same powers. So the way she exploded Kate's arm, like, she could explode people's heads too. But not just... So, like, why wasn't Newman, I don't know, trained to be the same? I'm just curious about how two people can end up with the same superpower. Maybe, like, Marie has, like, a superior version of Victoria Newman's superpower. That's what I'm thinking. Victoria Newman. Dude, you want to talk about a character... you want to talk about characters I hate? Victoria Newman. I can't believe how many people were upset at her death. Victoria Newman, I just rewatched The Boys, so let me give you a reminder of how awful Victoria Newman is, okay? She blows up Susan's head, the leader of the CIA, right as they're about to take down Vought. Got the proof that they're, pumping babies full of Compound V and creating super terrorists that way, or super villains. So the only way they can fight these super villains are with the superheroes, to get the superheroes into the military. Right as they have all their evidence and put together the final pieces of the puzzle, blows up the CIA's head. Alright? Then all the work that they do in season 2 and get the guy who made Homelander to testify in court to bring Vought down once and for all, blows up his head, blows up everybody's head in court. Okay? Then, fucks Stan Edgar out of the CEO position, giving the superheroes full control over the company of Vought. And then, most importantly, sticks up for Homelander when he bombs at Tech Knight's party, when he has 36% of the American political fucking powerful politicians there, stands up for Homelander and basically gets their approval, and because of that is the reason that Homelander was able to go. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this show doesn't happen without Victoria Newman. I think she's more of a piece of shit than Homelander. So, fuck Victoria Newman. Okay? If that's what you should take from today's episode of Gen V, that has nothing to do with Victoria Newman. Fuck Victoria Newman. But yeah. And that's how the episode ends. I'm not trying to sum it up very quickly, but that is just not a whole lot happened. But dialogue wise, there was a lot to uncover. I definitely think Godolkin is taking over. Sorry, I'm tired. I definitely think Godolkin is using Cypher's body as a host. But interesting. I do think that they have their own agenda against Homelander for sure. Sister Sage definitely has a plan against him. But yeah, very, very curious about where this is going. A lot got uncovered pretty quickly, and yeah, I'm making the assumption that Godolkin is, they haven't confirmed that, but it really is seeming like that. And with just little exchanges, definitely think they aren't Team Homelander. I don't think they're necessarily Team Humans, but I don't think they're Team Homelander either. But we'll see. Yeah, sorry, I'm really tired. Sorry this is late. I'm out of it. But it was a very interesting and intense episode, and I'm excited for the rest because, yeah, how this is going to play into the boys, we'll see. But I definitely think, as far as, weapons go, I'm sure she'll be utilized in Season 5, but, she ain't going to be the one that offs Homelander. There's no way that they're giving that title to a spin-off character, No disrespect to Marie. She's a great... Marie. She's a great character. But, yeah, there's no way that whoever kills Homelander isn't going to be from the main show. It's going to be Ryan. It absolutely is. That's the only thing that makes sense in my brain. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry I'm tired. And yeah, I'm gonna do a Jeremy Ramblins video tomorrow. I know I've been putting off talking about personal things, but yeah, I need to vent and talk about the week and whatnot. So appreciate your guys' patience. Appreciate you watching, and I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.